Little boy didn't see his mother coming after school, and his mother is shopping at the moment. She forgot about the time to pick up her child. After she reacted, she hurried to the kindergarten. She thought there was a teacher waiting at the door with her boy, but coincidentally the teacher's cell phone is out of battery. She repeatedly told the boy to sit here and don't go anywhere, but as soon as she entered the room, the boy ran out of the fence. He was attracted by a small hedgehog and walked farther and farther. In a blink of an eye he ran out 100 meters away. And just then his mother's bus just arrived at the stop. But she didn't realize that this passing by made her lose her child forever. The teacher was charging the phone and talking about the homework when the mother came over. They can't find the child anywhere. At this moment, the child has lost his way in a street not far away. Lucas finds Tom and reminds him to go home. But Tom catches up. The mother, who can't find her child everywhere, is completely panicked. The sister Anna didn't realize her brother's accident until she found that her parents anxiously called the police and asked around. At this time, Lucas had brought Tom to the police station. But Tom insists on going to Lucas's Grove base with him to play. Tom did not know that this choice would completely change the two families. Soon he followed Lucas into the woods. Lucas made a secret base full of toys here. Two kids quarreled over a box. When Lucas looked down to pick it up, he didn't realize that Tom had left. Tom was gone when he put the box back on base. He was taken aback by Tom after looking around. Tom lying on the ground completely stunned Lucas. No matter how much Lucas cried and called to him, Tom seemed to be dead. Lucas was scared and ran away. Even if he fell into the mud pit, he doesn't forget to look back in horror. When he got home, he panicked and scrubbed the dirt off his body. At this moment, Lucas looked out the window in despair. Every tree left him with an indelible nightmare. The parents, who searched the whole town and couldn't find their son, were furious. A man walks his dog through the woods in the evening. Suddenly the dog calls out to its owner. It found a hat, and the scene found by the river not far away shocked the man. At the police station, David was looking at the video of the kindergarten when he suddenly received a call from his subordinates. Soon the team came to the river and found the missing Tom. Mick, passing by here after get off work, doesn't understand what's going on. When he got home, he was still talking to his wife about the Riverside news, but found that his wife was worried about his son's condition. Mick came to his son Lucas's room. No matter how they communicated, Lucas, who was curled up in bed, said nothing. At night, Tom's father found the river. The presence of so many police cars in small villages made him feel bad. David couldn't speak to his question, but Daniel found something unusual in his panicked expression. He ran towards the scene like crazy. After breaking through the siege, he saw his son's woolen hat. At this moment, he cried out in despair. The mother, who was looking for her child in the middle of the night, accidentally dropped her phone on the ground. The broken screen made her feel a little uneasy. At this moment, she suddenly found her husband sitting in a police car in a daze. No matter how she called out to her husband, he didn't respond. He just held his hand silently. It was a catastrophe for them. To confirm the body of the son is undoubtedly a more brutal blow. David slowly pressed the button. Lucas wants to go to the toilet at night, but the thought of the grove scared him and ran back to his room. No matter how much he held back, he didn't dare to leave the door. When he woke up in the morning, he found himself wet in the bed. The family devastated by loss of child. The mother is even more sad looking at the neatly folded clothes. Her child will never have the opportunity to dress beautifully and go to school. Early in the morning, David discovers Lucas's secret base. After opening the box, a photo of mother and son appeared. And at this moment, the mother happened to be passing by with Lucas. Watching the FBI everywhere makes Lucas extremely nervous. David found out that the owner of the photo was Mary, a teacher at the school. But he accidentally found that Tom's walking with Lucas. David came to school early in the morning when Lucas had just started school. He met Lucas's mother, Mary, upstairs. A brief communication convinced Mary to take him to find Lucas. But when they came to the classroom, they found that Lucas was no longer here. Even his mother is amazed. Lucas walked down the road in a panic. After a few blocks, he finally made it to the police station. He slowly walked towards the FBI. David, still looking for Lucas, got a call. Mary is surprised that her son is in the bureau. But David took Lucas directly into the room without any explanation. But he didn't say a word. Just then an important person appeared. She is Rose, a well-known child educator in the area.
Merhaba Efe.
Lucas's reaction was expected. Rose's gentle storytelling method successfully communicated with Lucas. When asked who killed Tom, Lucas cried and answered,
광역기.
This scene immediately shocked his mother and Rose. Lucas picks up a small snail. He was afraid that it would be trampled and carefully placed it on the flower. The mother, moved by son's kind behavior. She had no idea her son was accused of killing a boy. The police even hired child educator Rose for psychological counseling. But Lucas admits that he did it. The mother was stunned and hurried to defend her son. Even Rose wonders if Lucas is freaked out. Lucas himself said that there is a shirt with Tom's blood in the house. Mary panicked and called her husband Nick for help. Nick came back when the police car came to the door. Sheriff David insists on searching, no matter what the parents say. But the entire squad got nothing but a rag that Nick deliberately hid. As soon as the police left, Nick pulled his wife Mary back into the house. He pulled the pine tree out of the flower pot. Sure enough, they found this bloody shirt inside. The husband and wife were discussing what to do with the evidence, but they didn't expect David to turn back again. In desperation, Mary had to hide the evidence in her bag. And David actually asked them to go back to the police station again to cooperate with the investigation. Tom's family is shrouded in pain. Tom's mother, June, is obsessively peeling her son's favorite potato. She can't accept the fact that her child is no longer there. The husband did not blame his wife after the accident. Instead, he urged her to be strong. After speaking, he slowly picked up the child's sneakers, wiped the tears from his face and walked out the door. He still remembers his son leaving with bare feet. He hopes the child will have a pair of shoes to wear when passing by the door. This scene completely broke the wife and daughter. David interrogates Nick and Mary separately. He suddenly realizes that Mary's bag hasn't been checked. But when he searched the bag, he found nothing. But he didn't know. Mary hid in the bathroom a few minutes ago and tied the bloody shirt around her waist. Mary almost collapsed when she got home. After coming home, she hurriedly rushed into the bathroom and washed the blood more than 20 times. But she felt that the blood stains could not be cleaned. June remembers the little things of her child all the time, especially the child's dream of taking wings and wanting to fly like a swallow. It suddenly reminded her of Tom's teacher. She couldn't control her emotions and rushed into the school. The teacher hid at home and didn't come to work. But at this point, June is completely out of control. She yelled to give her son back. Then he threw stones at the house until the last window was smashed. The FBI arrived just in time, although they can understand the pain that June endures, but still got it back. Rose is in the bureau again. She brought Lucas a present, a large blue plate and a bag of sand. She poured sand into a plate and made a mini world for Lucas. Lucas builds his own world alone at night. He places himself on an island surrounded by monsters, and Rose wants to read Lucas's inner world through this method. Lucas was suddenly drawn to the noise in the hallway. Looking through the window of a man slapping a vending machine, he quietly opened the door and slipped out. At this moment, the machine returned to normal and spat out a piece of chocolate. Lucas saw Tom's mother, who was haggard. He walked back without hesitation and took out the chocolate, all the way towards June. He passed the chocolate to June. June's heart was touched by Lucas. She tore off half of it and gave it to Lucas. Lucas showed up at the police station late at night, which puzzled June. She repeatedly told Lucas not to go with strangers, but she didn't realize that Lucas in front of her was suspected of killing her son. June bursts into tears when Lucas asks about her baby. She got down on her knees and laced Lucas's shoes. She was interrupted by the FBI when she wanted to say something else. He's going to take Lucas back to the room to watch. Before leaving, Lucas gave June a toy, and this toy is Tom's favorite little swallow. She immediately hugged Lucas tightly, as if she found the figure of her son in Lucas. At the urging of the FBI, Lucas walked and turned back. He didn't understand why June was so sad. Daniel came to the police station to take his wife back, but he was speechless. At the moment, Rose is analyzing Lucas's mini-world. In this world, whether Lucas is looking at the distant castle or the monsters surrounding him, Lucas is full of fear and insecurity. Mary also quietly came to the cemetery when the family said goodbye to Tom. Rose found her crying heartbroken. Rose guides Mary along the way. She firmly believes that Lucas didn't kill Tom and persuaded Mary to actively cooperate with the investigation. Mary fell into memory after Rose got out of the car. She thinks of the young child Tom, reminds her of the family's grief. She opened the front passenger's drawer and slowly got out of the car. Rose was surprised to find that Mary came to the bureau with evidence. She handed over this bloody shirt